Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Harley from EpicTube HD coming back at you with another epic video, but this time something just a little different. Let's get right into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
That's right, everyone. As we just said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at all 27 Gold Star Pokemon from the EX Ruby and Sapphire area. So as we get into this, we're going to be using Tier Maker today, not only to take a look at the Pokemon, but we're also going to be rating the Gold Stars. And again, this is going to be from my personal opinion, and it's basically solely based on the art perspective, not the actual mechanic itself of the card in the game itself. So let's go ahead and start off with our first looking Gold Star Pokemon. Now, these are not exactly in order by their appearance in the sets, and also before we actually get into this, let's go ahead and take a look at the sets they come from. So Power Keepers was set number 1, followed by Dragon Frontiers, Crystal Guardians, Howlin' Phantoms, Legend Maker, Delta Species, Unseen Forces, Emerald, Deoxys, Team Rocket returns, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Hidden Legends, Team Magma and Team Aqua, Dragon, and then there's EX Sandstorm and EX Ruby Sapphire, which, weirdly enough, actually, neither of the last two sets produced Gold Star Pokemon, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and we'll explain why later. But that's where all the Gold Star Pokemon come from, and there's one thing that is missing: Pop Series, which was a special, real small little mini thing where there's 2 Gold Stars that come from it, and again, we will go over those here in just a few moments. But let's go ahead and get right into it, everybody. Our first Pokemon is Alakazam Gold Star, an absolutely gorgeous looking card. Alakazam is in my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time, so I'm very pumped and excited for this card. I do love the artwork. The Spoon Man is coming at us, and you can see there's a consistent pattern here with the artwork in Gold Star Pokemon. Now the question is, where are we going to place our very first Gold Star card of the bracket? Right away, I'm going right up top into the God Stars. I love the artwork that much that I consider it a God Star Pokemon, and I would definitely love to have in my collection. Brings us to number 2, Celebi. Shining Celebi with its beautiful pinkish hue colors going on. Another great artwork. Typical of Celebi, kind of got that look back thing going on. Another beautiful looking card. We're going to place this into the A category. Also, real quick, let me just discuss, we do have God Stars, that is our top line category, followed by A, B, C, and D. Now, if you notice, we did not put an E or an F in here, because really, I mean, ultimately, is there really a big failure of a card? No, there's not. I mean, not really there is, but we will have some cards grading very low based on that art perspective once again. So there will be some lower grades, but I can never really just want to say there's an E or an F category. So let's go ahead and get into our second card, which is probably my favorite. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely biased towards it, hands down. As a Charizard collector, it is Shiny Charizard from Dragon Frontiers. Such an absolute gorgeous card. You know, it's not really as rare as a lot of people think it is. There's quite a few of them out there. They're just in pretty bad condition. It was used in the game mechanic quite a bit. But where does it stand for me? Now, I know a lot of people don't like the art on this card, and then there's people like me who absolutely love it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this into the God Stars. So that's right, we're already at 2 in the God Star category. Again, just take a look at this beautiful artwork as it gets zoomed in. Such a beautiful card. Look at that. We can get really in nice and tight on it. I really do enjoy the artwork on this card. I love the fact that he's pretty menacing. Mazakusu Fukura did a great job on the art, in my personal opinion. Love this Gold Star. But now let's move on to the next one, Ante. So we got our first legendary dog in the hunt here, Ante, the fire dog. Again, another gorgeous looking card. I really do like the artwork a lot on this card. I think Ante's looking really majestic here, coming through the Cosmos pattern holo. Again, a very, very good artwork card. I do enjoy it quite a bit. However, I don't quite put it into the God Stars. I would put it as an A-lister. It is great artwork, but there's just a lot of hodgepodge kind of going on there. It gets a little messy to me, just a tiny bit. But it's still a top-end Pokemon card, and the art is great. Which now takes us to our first Pop Series card. Again, there's only 2 in Pop Series, or that come from Pop Series. Espeon is one of them. Now, with this card, again, artwork is beautiful artwork. You know, it's weird, like the I don't know what you would call that, but like the pattern that's coming through space, almost like Jupiter rings here, and Espeon is kind of just charging at it. You got the shadow there, and you can see the space in the background. I'm just not really sold that this is the really best artwork they could have done. Therefore, I am giving Espeon a B. And again, that's kind of almost being nice. I kind of almost want to give it a C. It's a tough artwork. I think they could have done a better job, but I do like it. It's just, it doesn't make me, it's not a wow factor to it. So now we've got Flareon. It's another it's an evolution. It's our first evolution that we're going to look at, but it's another evolution that always has a tough time with having great art. I'm not sure why. Now this art I think is pretty decent, but it's not great overall. I do like it better than a lot of the other Flareon cards I've seen out there, and because of this, Flareon is getting a C. That's right. For me, it's the artwork is just worthy of a C category there. Moving on to another legendary, we got Groudon. So Groudon is a bit of an awkward art for me. I'm not a big fan of this particular style they did. I don't like, now it has nothing to do with it being a shiny Groudon, but it's just very awkward looking and strange, and I don't know, I'm not really a big fan. I think they could have done a way better job with this. And again, you can see the consistency with this specific pattern of art, the hand reaching out, 3D action type stuff. I'm not a fan of this art though, unfortunately. I really am not. I would love to have the card, but unfortunately, everyone, it is getting a D. Now this would, again, D doesn't mean it's a complete failure, because I don't think there are really any complete failures in the Gold Star category, but it's not very good though, in my personal opinion. Which now takes us to Gyarados, one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. Beautiful artwork. Love the fire dragon here. Instead of water, it's fire everywhere, coming through, like, look at that space portal. I love how the tail just goes down into the card. Again, typical Gyarados with the mouth agape and kind of like roaring, and I absolutely love the card. I love the overall color scheme. This is absolutely one of my favorite cards from the Gold Star era, and this is going into the God Star tier. And again, I know some people are going to be different on this, indifferent, different, you know, that's my list, and I'm making it the way I want, everyone. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, which is Jolteon. We're into our second evolution, and unfortunately, I think this is one of the worst Gold Stars that was ever made. They really did not do Jolteon justice with this card. Not a fan of it. Very awkward the way the body is towards the back. Don't like the front. I think they did a very poor job, unfortunately, with this card from an art perspective. Unfortunately, Jolteon, you're going into the D category. And if I did have an E or an F, Jolteon would probably be one of those that would actually make it into that category. So now we're taking a look at Kyogre. And just like Groudon, something is not right with this shiny Kyogre. It reminds me of Alien from the movie Aliens, with this ginormous bulbous head. Its fin looks very awkward in the way they fashioned it. I'm just not pumped over this card. Again, I feel like there's just a huge letdown. Unfortunately, Kyogre is going to join Groudon in the D-list category. Let's move on to the next card. And what do we got? Latios, or excuse me, Latias. Now, out of the Latios and Latias cards, Latias I think is the weaker version of the two cards. Again, I'm not a huge fan. Looking like the space shuttle here, coming through the card. The colors, you know, the shiny Latias colors, just it's a bit weird. It's not a terrible card by any means. I would probably give Latias a C tier ranking for that artwork. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at Latios. Now Latios is a little bit different. There's a little bit more going on. Believe it or not, a little more going on here. I do kind of like, let's take a look. I do like the background pattern a little bit more on the Latias. However, I like the artwork of the Latios a little bit better. Now, where's that going to situate it here in our tier list? It's going to actually just above the C to a B tier ranking. So it's just a little bit above. Now, again, the background, Latias has a little bit better, but I do like the overall art of Latios just a tad bit more. Which brings me probably to what I would say could be the worst art, the worst gold star card of them all. Metagross is pretty much just that. It's kind of gross in my personal opinion. And I hate to say that. I really think they dropped the ball on this one. They could have been so much better. The forelegs are flared out. You know he's flying through space or something here. But it's just awkward looking. It doesn't look very good. It's not eye appealing to me. I would probably rank this as the worst card next to, well, Jolteon. Well, I would say Metagross would be worse, followed by Jolteon, personally. So it is going to get a D-list ranking. But again, you know, I don't really want to say there's a failure of a card out there, because gold stars are overall just uber rare and beautiful cards in general. So now we got Mew. Mew is a beautiful card, very simplistic. The red fire kind of background against like a watery, icy, shining Mew here. I do like how the water is kind of perspirating off Mew. It's a nice, simple art. Nothing too crazy about it. It doesn't give you the wow factor though, which is of course what we're looking for. And because of that, I am going to place the Mew into the B category, which I think is almost being somewhat generous. But again, I am a Mew fan. Mew is my top 20 favorite Pokemon of all time, so it is going to get a little bit of bias on it. Then we've got Mewtwo. One of the best gold star arts, I would have to say. Beautiful art, typical Mewtwo fashion, kind of that fighting pose. I do like the Stellar Galaxy thing going on in the back. I like that very much. Kind of reminds me of like the Galileo, you know, blinking up and things like that. Stars, you can see the roadmap to the stars. I do like this card quite a bit. I do think this card definitely goes into the God Stars category. I would love to own that card. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful card overall, and there's not much you can say about that. Simple art, nothing too great, but it does have a wow factor to it. I just don't know how else to explain it. Even though it's simple art, it's just got something about it. Just says, wow, I really like that card. Which now takes us to Mudkip. Again, another awkward looking art. The body structure, and I just not a fan of this card at all. I hate to say that. And another thing to point out, and this is something I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is we have a starter as a gold star. So we have a starter here, which again kind of is a little bit strange that EX Sandstorm and Ruby Sapphire didn't get gold stars in those sets. Because you could have definitely made one for those sets, especially if you have a starter one. But that takes us now, where are we going to rank this Mudkip? I'm not a fan of this card. I would honestly give it a D. I think the art is pretty bad on that card. Now, we're going to get into one of the most iconic Pokemon of all time. And truly, I think one of the best Gold Stars of all 27. And that is our boy Pikachu. Again, nothing too extravagant in terms of the art, but it's the pose. It's the pose and the pissed off look on his face, like he's about to take care of business. You've got the stellar background going on, like it's just the force is coming off, and it looks so badass. I love this card. I think this is one of the best Gold Stars. Again, very simple, but it's got a wow factor to it, in my personal opinion, and therefore definitely going to be putting Pikachu in the God Stars category. So I know we've already got 5 in there right now, but let's go ahead and continue and see where it takes us, everybody. Don't forget to smash the like button on this video if you haven't done so already. That's the easiest and best way to help our channel out and keep us growing, everybody. And again, we appreciate all of you out there for taking care of doing that. And again, thank you for watching our videos. We greatly appreciate it. Now let's continue with the ranking of our Gold Star Pokemon. Raikou. We're now to the second legendary dog. This is another iconic legendary Pokemon that I feel was a little bit let down in the art. Now the art is actually good, but I feel like they really made him just a little too small. He's so far kind of away, and they wanted to get that paw out there, that 3D effect, that I felt like, you know, they took a little bit away from Raikou itself, but it's still a beautiful artwork. And in my personal opinion, I would give it a B ranking. So again, B ranking for the second legendary dog. Which now takes us to probably what is, I would have to say, probably the most rare out of the 27 Gold Star Pokemon. Rayquaza. Probably the most rare Gold Star out of everyone. And simply because the set it comes from, Deoxys, EX Deoxys, was an extremely short printed set, very difficult to find. I actually remember being at the store and seeing Deoxys set at the store, and it wasn't there very long at all. It's a very hard set to find. You don't see much of it out at all. You don't see almost like any loose packs or anything. It's so rare to find Deoxys, therefore making Rayquaza one of the most rare. Now, does rare make it a god tier ranking? From an art perspective, I think this is such a beautiful art. This has the total wow factor. I love how the space design is coming, how it's curled around in the pattern, reaching out again with that consistent you know, that consistent art design that they've given a lot of these Gold Star Pokemon. I really do like this. And Shiny Rayquaza is one of my favorite Pokemon. I believe Rayquaza is in my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. I like it. I prefer Shiny over the regular Rayquaza, but this definitely has the wow factor in my personal opinion. Therefore, Rayquaza does get moved up into the God Stars category. Moving on, everybody, moving on. We're into the Reggies now. Reggie Ice. I do like the art on this. Very simple, very plain, nothing too crazy about it. I like how it's kind of coming down in the background, like the stars and everything. I think that's pretty cool. Doesn't make it a great card, no, but it does, I think, earn a B tier ranking. So very okay with that, in my personal opinion. Again, shiny Reggie Ice there, which is followed up by, excuse me, not shiny, followed up by Reggie Rock. Now, Reggie Rock, I am not a fan of this art. I'm not a fan of this Pokemon personally. I think it's pretty tough. There's not much to it. I'm not a big fan of it again. I think it's a little strange, but for that reason, I'm going to give Reggie Rock a C tier ranking, which I don't think is terribly bad at all. And that takes us to our third Reggie, which is Reggie Steele, everybody. So Reggie Steele, and I think this is the best one out of the 3 personally. I do like Reggie Steele, although the finger's a little, got some sausage fingers happening here. Hashtag sausage fingers, everybody. But I do like this card, prefer this one better. I like the art in this. I think the art is very nice. I definitely give Reggie Steele a B tier ranking up there with Reggie Ice. I do like it. It's not terrible. It's not great, but I think it does just enough to warrant that B tier ranking. Which takes us to our second starter Pokemon, Torchic. Now the difference between the Mudkip and the Torchic, this one's awesome. This one is great. Who doesn't love this little guy? I mean, check this thing out. This is the coolest thing ever. I think this is such a beautiful card. It is, again, so strange that they added in the 3 starters here, but it is what it is, and we will take it. So where am I going to rank Torchic, though? I don't want to rank it in the God stars because basically it's a starter. I don't feel it really should be up there, but the art, I think, is great. And therefore, it is going to get an A tier ranking from me because, again, I do think the art is pretty good. Which now takes us to Trico, our third and final starter. I am not a big fan of this artwork. It's not terrible, though. It isn't terrible, but I'm just not a fan. I don't like how the leg goes up like that. The tail's very awkward looking, the way they have it situated. It's a weird, awkward pose. There's nothing too spectacular about it. I'm going to give Trico a C list, and I think I'm almost being too nice for it, but I'll give it a C list ranking. Taking us now to Umbreon, our second Pop Series card, Gold Star card. So again, there was only 2 that came from the Pop Series. That's Espeon and Umbreon. Now, in this art, I love the artwork. I think it's really nice. I just don't like the background. The all black and blue of Umbreon against that background. I know it's got the fire kind of coming out from the corner there, but or the light, whatever that is. Just not an exciting card. Doesn't make me go wow. Even the pose, it's kind of like Umbreon's prancing. It's just weird, and I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. However, I would definitely say it's worthy of a B tier ranking, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the card. But I think, you know, it's just hard to really place it in any other position, because I really feel like they could have done such a better job with it. But it's basically equal to what Espeon is, which now takes us to our third and final legendary dog, Suicune. Now, this is a very, in my personal opinion, a very poor artwork. I feel like laziness happened or something. I don't know. I'm just not excited for this card at all. You can barely see Suicune's face. You know, it's like a hodgepodge of stuff going on. Colors are all very similar. Nothing spectacular is happening. I'm really disappointed. I feel like they just didn't put any real effort into Suicune, which unfortunately gives Suicune a very negative grade. So we're putting it into D tier, which now takes us to our final Pokemon from the Gold Stars, everybody. This is well, it's not exactly number 27. Again, they're not in order, but from our list, this is the number 27th Gold Star Pokemon. So again, you got to look at all 27, and actually, one of my favorites, actually, from the set, and our last evolution, everybody, Vaporeon. I think this is an absolute gorgeous looking card. I love the art on this. The tail going back like that. You can see the leg kind of pushing off, reaching forward. The water is kind of shooting out, you know, in space, and it's like floating. And I love the colors. I think this card pops really well. Such a beautiful, gorgeous card. It's to the point where I definitely think it has the wow factor. Big shout out to our friend and guest host on Cardboard Addicts Podcast, Shining Edith, getting up there in the God Stars for that Vaporeon. I know that's one of her favorite Pokemon overall. And that is going to do it, everybody. There is our list, my list, EpicTube HD, Harley here, from the Gold Stars. Again, we just wanted to take a nice look at all 27 Gold Stars. It's been a long time. I've worked on a whole bunch of different projects like this one, so I hope you guys are going to be looking forward to it. I got a few more of these coming out soon. I've been working on these for several months now, and I'm excited to get this first one out. So everybody, once again, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody out there supporting EpicTube HD. Again, please smash that like button, subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed yet, and click the little bell to get notified every time we upload a video. You can watch our other videos right here and right here, everybody. And of course, have more big adventures with us, EpicTube HD, everyone. Till the next video, peace out, see ya. Also, don't forget to check out our GoDaddy's podcast, everyone.